Don't you just hate to see a man flush his career right down the toilet? Christ above, all Kyle Walker needs to do now is buy a Toy Story hat and stroll through a Japanese rainforest armed with nothing but a camera and a complete lack of self-respect. Our last month has been fairly simple. We've been told to stay indoors. That's it. And maybe don't cough on old people. Back during the 40s, people were told to go to war. We've been told to sit on the couch. For some of you, like Sam Allardyce, that's probably his idea of heaven. It's not that hard. Okay, it's a little bit hard. There's often times where I felt like swallowing a basket of forks. Just have something to eat. By July, I'm probably gonna start eating bowls of my own hair. It's true, lockdown is tough. I'm so starved of human interaction, I've responded with trying to chat to the pigeons outside my house. They don't respond. And I'm not alone in this. I see other content creators. Oh, what a wanky word. I've seen other internet gobbeans who have been driven to the point of madness. Christ above, Mark Goldberg's channel has picked the same thumbnail for his last 40 videos. Just reminds me of this. But before we talk about Kyle Walker, let's briefly check on the social sanity of our fellow football creators, finding new and exciting ways of keeping things fresh during the lockdown.
This is the sort of potato size you want. 1 centimetre. 1 centimetre. 1 centimetre. What you want to do, yeah, give it a good old stir. You want to get it going into like a double cream substance.
In my pasta bake, I'm going to add a few things that's going to give it a little bit of flavour. An onion, half an onion here. Got a little bit of garlic and a chili pepper.
Why am I watching a grown man cook his dinner? If I wanted to spend my afternoon watching a midlife crisis, I'd visit my stepdad in jail. Christ, what's next? What, 10-minute video of DT cooking a pizza? Give us 6 more weeks of isolation and we'll probably all be tuning in to watch Robbie take a bath. But actually, I've also been working on a similarly creative video. I can't wait to share it all with you. I'll go on then, twist my arm. Here's a sneak peek. Hello and welcome to Irish Rice Cooking Hour. First, you put in the Cocoa Pops, then the milk. But in some ways, it's good. This lockdown has allowed us to reconnect with our existing family members in our own household.
Theo, I'm warning you, if you chat any shit on this video, you're getting banged.
Kyle Walker, right, does he think he's above the law? Because he's a multi-millionaire footballer paid 5 times more than the man on the street. Well then, I guess all these rules don't apply to him. After all, he's in the elite tier of human being who probably shits rainbows. Is this real life? Okay, everyone makes mistakes. I agree not as monumentally stupid as this, but still, alright. There's a possibility that he would have learned his lesson. A rare lapse in judgment, maybe. Moise Keane was spotted at a party, but since then, not heard a peep from him. But no doubt hiding under his bed, terrified to take a step outside his front door. Similarly, Walker's apologised, right? Get your head down, stay inside, and move on. He's done it again. He's actually done it again. Does he have a brain made of cauliflower? How? How has he done this again?
I feel as though I've stayed silent for long enough.
Instead of trying to stay silent, why don't you try to stay inside? Stay inside the 4 walls of your house, that is, not the legs of an escort.
In relation to events on Wednesday, I travelled to Sheffield to give my sister a birthday card and present, but also to speak to one of the few people I believe I can trust in life.
You travel to Sheffield. The guidelines told us not to exercise more than 1 kilometre radius outside your house. You heard this and chose to drive 40 miles up the road. There's not listening and then there's that. It's the equivalent of when the air hostess tells you to put on your seatbelt during turbulence. And instead of doing that, you do a cartwheel down the aisle. Are we supposed to feel sorry for him?
She hugged me to remind me how much he cares and that I am loved. What am I meant to do, push her away?
Yes! That's exactly what you're supposed to do. If it's easier, Kyle, think of her not as your sister, but as a potential bag of infections. If someone offered to smear a bag of dog feces on your face, I'm pretty sure you'd push them into next week. Treat this as the same thing, actually even worse. And especially if I was at the centre of a controversy just 1 week earlier. Christ above, if my face had been splashed all over the national press, criticised for breaking lockdown laws, called an idiot by Piers Morgan, I wouldn't be going near the outside world. So as for hugging another human being, oh Christ, in his own head he's probably thinking, what's the big deal? All I did was hug my sister. So why are they treating it as if it's an altar boy getting a hug off a priest? Kyle, turn on the f***ing news. And she wouldn't have been in a position to hug you if you hadn't driven 40 miles up the M7. What did you think was going to happen? You know what to do, right? If it's your sister's birthday during lockdown, pick up the phone and ring her. Yes, fair enough. I can understand why you might be adverse to phone calls. If I had a voice that sounded like a strangled Mickey Mouse, I'd be scared to use the phone too. Then just send her a letter, a Skype, anything. Anything that doesn't involve coming within 2 meters of her face. Christ above. Does this fella think he's the only one having a hard lockdown? Look around you. Half the nation are shaving their bastard heads. Due to a severe barber shortage, we now have a country full of pork and cheskies. No wonder people have been told to stay the f inside.
I then travelled to my parents' house to pick up some home-cooked meals.
Oh. Oh, it actually gets worse. This is a time when we've been told to stay indoors, and this fella's taking a road trip around Britain. Is this how out of touch footballers are? Why can't you be more like Mark Goldbridge and cut your spuds yourself? Just whatever you do, don't film it. I haven't been this bored since the last finale. Spoilers, they were dead the whole time. Kyle, you're nearly 30 years of age and still have to drive to your mother's house to pick up your bastard dinner? Listen, I know modern day footballers have everything done for them, but Christ above, you probably haven't wiped your own arse since 2006. So expecting a nearly 30-year-old man to be able to cook his dinner, maybe it's out of line. Maybe it's unrealistic expectation. Fair enough. Fine. Order a f***ing pizza then. Do not travel 40 miles to visit your elderly parents.
At what stage do my feelings get taken into consideration?
Kyle, you ever wondered why your teammates haven't been chucked in the press? Why the knives aren't out for Raheem Sterling, Sergio Aguero or Gabriel Jesus? You think this is a personal vendetta against you for some reason? No, it's because they're not travelling halfway across the northwest to pick up their bastard dinner. Instead they just turn the oven on. A year ago, Kyle Walker was lifting the Premier League title with Brighton. If you ever want to have that feeling again, do yourself and everyone else a favour, stay indoors. Christ above, it's not hard. Kyle, if you want to speak to your family members, pick up the bastard phone. Look, I'll give you a demonstration if you like.
Hello?
Hi Mom, it's your son. Just checking to see how you're doing.
If you call here again, I'm ringing the police.
She'll ring back. She hasn't rung back since 2012. Sure, in some ways I have a shred, a tiny iota, the width of a cat's fingernail of sympathy for him. If the average man broke lockdown rules, hopping in a car to visit another county, he wouldn't be tailed by the national press. The media won't care if Pete, the local butcher from Doncaster, wants to violate the rules. But when you're a Premier League winning right back at England international, who's just hosted a bastard party the week before during a global pandemic, yeah, you're gonna be under a bit of scrutiny, especially considering some papers have all else to write about. As we've seen, some football YouTubers being forced to film their dinner for content. I'm convinced within 3 weeks there'll be a 10-minute video of Chris Hamill taking a dump, but this is par for the course of being a top-flight footballer, and you know this. For Christ's sake, you've been a Premier League footballer for over a decade. This is not new information. You're no stranger to how the media works. Sorry, Kyle, but you've nobody to blame but yourself. Anyway, that's the video. What do you think? Have I been too harsh? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.
Welcome to Irish Guys Cooking Hour. You put in the milk into the cocoa pops and